Before the Maasai kingdom was ruled by the wisdom of King Olokoto, there existed a warrior whose name echoed through the land. His name was Nguvu, meaning a power, and power he had, beyond that of any mortal man. But Nguvu's strength was not enough. The fame, the respect of his people, none of it could quench his growing thirst for something more. His desire was not just to be a leader of men, but to rule the forces of the world, the wind, the beasts, and the spirits themselves. Nguvu, blinded by his desires, ignored the warnings of the elders. They told him of the cursed spirits that lay imprisoned deep within the sacred forest. But to Nguvu, these spirits held the key to the ultimate power he sought. Under the cover of darkness, Nguvu ventured into the sacred forest. A place no man dared to enter, for it was said to be a domain of ancient spirits, banished by the gods themselves. The air grew cold as Nguvu walked deeper into the forest. The trees seemed to close in around him, their branches twisting like the fingers of old spirits. But Nguvu, fearless as he was, continued. In the heart of the forest, he found the tree of the ancients. It was said that beneath this gnarled, ancient tree, the spirits were sealed away by the gods for their crimes. Nguvu stood before it, fearless, and called out to the spirit imprisoned within. "What is it you seek, mortal?" the spirit asked. Its voice was like the wind, shifting and restless. But Nguvu did not waver. Nguvu stood tall, his voice strong. "I seek power. Power to command the earth, the sky, and all living things." "The power you seek comes with a price," the spirit warned. But Nguvu, consumed by his desire, did not hesitate. The spirit reached out and touched Nguvu. In an instant, a terrible force surged through him. His body twisted, his muscles bulged, and his bones cracked. He screamed, but it was too late. His hands became claws, his face elongated into a beast's snout. His eyes burned with a fiery glow. Nguvu was no longer a man, but a beast, a creature of the night, cursed to roam the forest. "You sought to command all creatures. Now, you are one," the spirit's voice echoed before fading away, leaving Nguvu cursed and alone. The Maasai kingdom flourished under the rule of King Olokoto, a man loved by his people. He was a wise ruler, just and fair, known for his strength in battle and his gentle hand in peace. But in the heart of the kingdom, there was someone who captured the admiration of the people even more than the king. Her name was Naeku, the queen. She was not only the king's wife but the jewel of the Maasai. Naeku's beauty was legendary, but it was her kindness and wisdom that made her beloved. Wherever she walked, the people bowed not out of duty but out of love. Children ran to her, elders sought her counsel, and the young women admired her grace. The bond between Naeku and King Olokoto was strong. They ruled together, making decisions side by side, their love for each other evident in every glance, every word. To the people, they were not just rulers, they were the heart of the kingdom. But beyond the safety of the kingdom, in the dark depths of the cursed forest, the creature that was once Nguvu stirred. His eyes, once filled with ambition, now burned with the rage of a beast. Yet in his heart, a remnant of the man remained, and with that remnant, a longing. The creature, cursed to roam as a beast, was haunted by dreams, visions of the life he once knew. He remembered the joy of the kingdom, the beauty of the plains, and above all, the queen. Day by day, his longing for Naeku grew. In her, he saw not only beauty but a sense of peace, something he could never have. His beastly heart, once driven by power, now burned with desire for the king's wife. Unaware of the creature's growing obsession, Naeku continued to live her life, spreading joy and wisdom throughout the kingdom. She cared for the sick, taught the children, and supported her husband in his rule. But as the seasons changed and the winds grew colder, Naeku began to feel a strange presence. At night, She would hear soft growls in the distance, like a predator lurking just beyond the village's edge. The beast, once bound to the deep forest, had now drawn closer to the village. Each night, he crept nearer, watching from the shadows, waiting. His heart, consumed by a twisted love, yearned to be near her, even if only from afar. Night after night, the beast crept closer, until one evening, as the moon hung full in the sky, he stood at the edge of the village, just beyond the reach of the firelight. Deep in the heart of the cursed forest, the beast that was once Nguvu prowled. The curse had twisted him, transforming him into a creature that now only knew hunger. The curse had not only changed his body but had consumed his mind. Each day, he was haunted by visions of the past, of the life he had once known, of the love he had once hoped to earn, and of the queen, Naeku. But in the peaceful village, Naeku was unaware of the growing storm on the horizon. She sat beside her husband, King Olokoto, under the glow of the fire, unaware of the danger that watched from the shadows. Every night, as the village slept, the beast crept closer. His hunger for Naeku had grown unbearable. He watched from the edge of the forest, his eyes burning with desire and rage. Naeku stepped out into the cool night air. But tonight, something felt different. The wind carried a strange heaviness, and a sense of being watched prickled her skin. Her heart quickened as her eyes scanned the darkness, but she saw nothing. She returned inside, unaware of how close the beast had come. During the day, life in the village carried on as normal. But in the quiet moments, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone, was watching her. But as night fell once again, the beast's hunger could no longer be contained. He crept from the forest, inching ever closer to the village. He was no longer just watching. Tonight, he would act. Inside her hut, Naeku's heart skipped a beat. She heard something, an unfamiliar sound. It was something else, something dangerous. The beast had come closer than ever before, just outside the hut. He could smell her, feel her presence, and the hunger in his heart turned to madness. But the village's faithful dogs sensed the danger. Their barks pierced the silence, waking the warriors from their sleep. The beast, startled by the noise, hesitated for the first time. With a frustrated snarl, the beast slunk back into the forest, his hunger unfulfilled but his obsession growing. He would return, for the hunger could not be denied forever. The rising sun bathed the Maasai village in golden light, but its warmth did little to soothe the unease that had settled over the people. There had been whispers of strange happenings in the night, of shadows that did not belong to man or beast. And though the sun rose, the shadow of the curse lingered. King Olokoto stood at the edge of the village, his gaze fixed on the dense, dark line of trees that marked the cursed forest. He had led his people through wars, famines, and droughts, but never before had he felt such an ominous presence. Something ancient and malevolent had come to his land. Naeku, the queen, felt the weight of the village's unease as she moved among her people. Though her hands were busy, tending to the tasks of the day, her mind was consumed by thoughts of the night before. She had felt something, sensed a presence, lurking just beyond the reach of the firelight. King Olokoto called forth his strongest warriors, those who had proven their courage in battle. He knew that whatever haunted the forest would require more than brute strength, it would take cunning, patience, and the heart of a true hunter. With quiet words, the king spoke of their mission. This was no ordinary hunt. A darkness had crept into their world, and it was up to them to drive it out. The warriors' eyes shone with determination. They had trained for this moment all their lives. The warriors moved as one, stepping silently into the shadowy depths of the cursed forest. The air grew colder as they ventured deeper, the light from the sun barely piercing the canopy above. Every step felt like a descent into an ancient, forgotten world. The deeper they went, the more the forest seemed to close in on them. Unfamiliar animal cries echoed through the trees, and the ground beneath their feet seemed to shift with every step. They knew they were being watched, by the forest itself, or something far more dangerous. From the shadows, the beast watched. His glowing eyes tracked their every move, his breath coming in slow, deliberate huffs. His hunger had grown, no longer just for the queen, but for the challenge of these warriors who dared to enter his domain. Suddenly, the warriors stopped. A chill had swept over them, and the forest grew unnaturally quiet. Even the birds had stopped singing. They sensed it, the beast was near. A rustle in the bushes made one warrior freeze, his hand gripping his spear tightly. He turned toward the sound, his heart pounding in his chest. Whatever was there was watching them, waiting. Without warning, the beast sprang from the shadows, his roar shaking the very trees. The warriors moved in unison, their spears flashing in the dim light as they fought to defend their king and their village from the monster's wrath. King Olokoto fought with the strength of 10 men, his spear finding its mark again and again. The beast howled in pain, but still, it fought, refusing to yield. This was no ordinary creature, it was a force of darkness, driven by hatred and hunger. As the beast retreated into the forest, wounded but not defeated, the warriors stood together, breathless and victorious. But they knew this was only the beginning, the beast would return, and next time, it would not be alone. The warriors returned to their village, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that the fight was far from over. Naeku watched them from the edge of the village, her heart full of worry for what was still to come. She could still feel the presence, lurking just beyond the trees.
Will the villagers prevail against the beast? Watch out for part 2. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the page.